Hello, good evening. Welcome back to National IAS Academy. Dear friends, my name is Raj Shekhar. Welcome back to yet another video under Focus 300 initiative by National IAS Academy. Once again, in this class too, I shall be discussing 10 most important topics from UPSC CSC Prelims perspective, which will be held on 28th of May 2023. So the first topic in today's class would be about La Nina. What is La Nina? What is El Nino? What is Southern Oscillation? What is Enso cycle? You might all be familiar with these topics. I hope you have studied in your geography subject. But specifically in this topic or in this class, I'm focusing on La Nina, at least from current affairs perspective, because it was in news. Why? This year, La Nina has prolonged or it has continued for the third year. Every year or once in a while it used to appear based on the movement of ocean currents or under the influence of trade winds. The El Nino or La Nina would occur once in a while. But this year, starting from 2020, it has starting from 2019, it has continued till 2022. So this has made the scientists or researchers give it a specific name, which is called as triple dip. So the continued presence of La Nina or La Nina cycle has influenced the researchers to name it as something called as triple dip. So you understood the meaning of triple dip. What does it indicate? Triple means La Nina has existed for straight 3 years, continuously in a straight row for 3 years, and such event previously had happened only twice. Once was in the year 1973, and the other time it was in the year 1998. So this year, after let's say around nearly 19 years, this phenomenon has once again been observed now. So let me repeat. La Nina has continued to exist for 3 straight years. This is third such event in the history. Previously, we observed such events in the year 1973, and after that, it was in the year 1998 that we observed such an event. And when La Nina exists continuously, straight for 3 years, it is called as triple dip effect, or in short, triple dip. And such triple dip has been observed in 2022 once again. All right. So this is the current context. I'd not go deep into the explanation related to La Nina or El Nino because it is time consuming. I'm specifically stressing upon the current affairs context of any topic. All right. So in general terms, La Nina is a weather phenomenon. What is it? Weather phenomenon. In this particular phenomenon, under the influence of trade winds, hot currents from western American continent or western part of the American continent move to eastern part of the Australia or the Asian part. So once the hot current under the influence of trade winds, when they move to the western part or the eastern parts of Australia, low pressure builds up here. All right, on the eastern parts of Australia, and high pressure builds on where the western part of the American continent. So where there is low pressure, the precipitation there increases, condensation and precipitation increases. As a result, rainfall occurs in large amount or in large manner. As a result, important places on the eastern side of India and the Australia receive huge rainfall. So in specific terms, La Nina event is useful for India and Australia, whereas it is not so useful for the western part of the American continent, right? So this is a basic idea about La Nina, which you should be knowing, right? The second topic is there is something called as Karakoram Anomaly. Karakoram Anomaly. What is it? Why is it in news? See, we all have been hearing in through various news sources that the glaciers across the world, maybe Himalayas, maybe Hindu Kush mountain ranges, or some mountain ranges in Europe or even in South America have been depleting very fast because of climate change and increased temperature. So this is a common phenomenon. What is it? Including glaciers in the Arctic and Antarctic region, glaciers across the world are depleting. Right. So this is the common thing that we have been hearing. However, in the Karakoram range, or specifically the Karakoram section, where does it exist? Starting from Afghanistan, covering Gilgit and Baltistan, and covering Ladakh region, the major part of Karakoram range the major part of Karakoram range is experiencing something called as Karakoram Anomaly. What is it? Under this, instead of depleting, the ice cap or ice cover is in contrast increasing or is being maintained at the same levels. So this is called as anomaly, Karakoram anomaly. Firstly, where is Karakoram? It begins from Afghanistan and extends through Pakistan to India. And for your kind information, the second highest peak of the world, which is called as K2, is located in the Karakoram range. Right? So here in this range, unlike other glaciers or unlike other mountains, the ice cap instead of receding is actually increasing. This is called as Karakoram anomaly. And the reason behind this is, as per scientists, the irrigation activities in the foothills of Karakoram range have increased, and this has led to more and more evaporation, ultimately leading to condensation of these water vapors and being converted into the ice cap or glaciers. So this is called as Karakoram anomaly. A recent studied or looked into why glaciers in Central South Asian Karakoram range have less of an impact on climate change than other glaciers. So along with the irrigation factor, there is also one more factor, that is resurgence of western disturbances. So both these factors together have contributed to the Karakoram anomaly. All right. So this anomaly can also be seen in some parts of Hindu Kush mountains, Kunlun mountains, and the Pamirs and Himalayas. All these together form the Karakoram range. All right. Although it is not uniform, however, in some parts of these ranges, this anomaly can be studied or observed. Next is about tectonic movements, which is related to plate movements, what we call in geographical terms. Here specifically we shall look at land subsidence. What is the context? You all might have heard about this particular place, that is Joshimath. Joshimath has been in news, continuously in news from past 1 year. Why? Because of some infamous reasons. But before that, let us understand what is land subsidence. It basically means the downward or sudden movement of Earth's surface. The downward or sudden movements. It is not moving along the slopes. Instead, the sudden and downward movements of Earth's surface is known as land subsidence, and it can be caused by two factors. One is natural, the other one is human processes. Natural might be too much of rains or brittle land surface, etc. And human process can be illegal drilling, mining, or construction activities, or overcrowding, or unhindered growth of population, or non-sustainable tourism activities. All these are human processes. So because of these two factors, the land subsidence occurs, and because of this land subsidence, Joshimath is experiencing first of its kind crisis. Here, various pictures had surfaced on the internet and other things, news media. You could see the damaged houses, damaged playgrounds, damaged roads, etc. So the main reason behind this is the land subsidence, even called as land subsidence. Joshimath is located in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. Location becomes important. It is located in Chamoli district of Uttarakhand. Right. So here specifically, many not so sustainable projects were going on since 1971. Despite warnings from the locals or the experts or some environmental groups, here construction of dams began. And since this lies in the close vicinity of Badrinath and all, obviously tourism increased. Along with tourism, transportation activities, construction activities, road construction activities, right? So such activities increased, and all this together increased the pressure on the land below Joshimath, a small town. And since it became unsustainable, after a lot of struggle and after a lot of fight, finally Mother Earth has given up. So she is showing her anger in the form of these natural calamities, that is land subsidence. All right. So this is why Joshimath was in news. Please note down. Next, Mawmluh cave, which is located in Meghalaya. It is located in the state of Meghalaya, which is a northeastern state. Why was it in news? See, it has become one of the first 100 International Union for Geological Sciences geological site. It has been identified as one of the few sites which were classified as geological sites in the world. These geological sites were identified by or recognized by International Union for Geological Sciences. Right? And also, this Mawmluh cave has become the first geological site of the state of Meghalaya. It is located in the state of Meghalaya. It is nearly 7.2 kilometers long cave. And the speciality of this cave is that there is a pool inside this cave. A small lake or kind of pool kind of lake is located inside this Mawmluh cave. Right? It is located in the state of Meghalaya, and the cave consists of various stalagmite formations. What? Stalagmite formations. So if you're asked a few basic things about the International Union for Geological Sciences, then please do note these following key facts. First is, it was established in the year 1961, and it is a part, or it works under the overall monitoring of International Science Council. International Science Council, right? The headquarters of International Union for Geological Sciences is located at Paris, which is France, whereas its secretariat is located in Beijing, which is in China. All right. So this cave was for the first time discovered by Lieutenant Yule in the year 1844. Right. So also Meghalaya has more caves than other known karst regions of the nation, both in terms of quantity as well as length. Next is about the International Drought Resilience Alliance. So when was it launched? At the end of the 27th Conference of Parties to UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which was held in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. And this particular alliance related to drought was mainly spearheaded or launched by two countries. One is Senegal, the other one is Spain. This initiative at COP27 was launched by two countries, that is Senegal and Spain. Spain had made the initial announcement at the UN General Assembly meeting in the year 2022, which was the 77th UN General Assembly meeting. This particular alliance becomes significant because apart from UNCCD, that is United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, this alliance, apart from this alliance, or before the launch of this alliance, apart from UNCCD, there was no international convention with regard to the drought. As a result, the launch of this alliance has become significant. So the goal is to create political momentum by the year 2030, and the land will be able to withstand drought and climate change with the help of this particular alliance. All right. Next is right to repair. We Indians have got another right, although late, but another yet significant right, that is right to repair. What does this mean? See, I'll help you. I'll try to explain with the help of an example. I think it should be clear. Imagine you buy a Apple from Apple phone from the showroom. If the phone is damaged, you can if it is under warranty, you can take that phone back to the showroom anytime and get it repaired. However, however, if you have done any software changes or hardware changes to that particular phone, you can't claim warranty even though it is still under the warranty, because as per the rules, Apple company is not bound to repair the phone if it has been hampered both in terms of software and in terms of hardware. So this was the situation earlier. But however, since the launch of or since the awarding of this right, that is right to repair, the company cannot escape from its original responsibility in any manner or in any situation, even though the phone has been tampered with, maybe in terms of software or in terms of hardware. Even then, the Apple company cannot resist, with respect to, or cannot prevent or distance itself from repairing that particular phone when there has been a demand from your side for the repair, because the Ministry of Consumer Affairs has said that once the phone is bought, it becomes an asset for the person who has bought it. It literally becomes it literally happens that the person is owning that asset. So when the person is owning that asset, it is his will, or it is left to his free will to do whatever he wants to do or she wants to do with that particular product. So in such manners, the sellers or companies cannot interfere with respect to a person's interest. Right? Recently, the Department of Consumer Affairs declared that a group headed by Additional Secretary, that is Nidhi Khare, will be looking into the framework to with respect to the right to repair. A framework will be prepared or would be prepared with respect to right to repair through a committee under the chairmanship of Nidhi Khare. This was announced by Department of Consumer Affairs, and specifically, the right to repair refers to governmental regulations that are designed to give consumers the freedom to fix and alter their own consumer electronic devices, as opposed to situations where the manufacturer would otherwise force the user to utilize only their services. This is true with respect to all kinds of electronic goods and items. Alright. So when consumers purchase the product, it is assumed that they'll own it totally. So the ownership, complete 100% ownership, would be lying with the consumer, and as a result, the companies cannot force them to come to them only for the services. Right. Next, Dam Safety Act was in news because a question regarding the safety of many dams which are in existence in India was raised in the parliament. Please note down that there are nearly 5,700 dams across the country, of which nearly 90% of them are very old dams which need special attention or immediate action by the respective state governments or the central government. Right. So in this perspective, it is better to understand the important provisions related to the Dam Safety Act of 2021. It basically aims at surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance of all specified dams across the country. The keywords that you should remember here are surveillance, inspection, operation and maintenance too. Apart from that, specified dams. The Dam Safety Act assigns responsibilities with respect to specified dams only, not all dams. Please remember, the act applies to all specified dams in the country. That is, those dams having height of over 15 meter and between 10 meter to 15 meter with certain design and structural conditions. Under the provisions of this act, there shall be two new bodies at the national level and two new bodies at the state level. National bodies include the National Committee on Dam Safety and National Dam Safety Authority. State bodies include State Dam Safety Organization and State Committee on Dam Safety. The Act also specifically specifies the obligations of dam owners and the functions of dam owners. The key functions of the dam owners include preparing an emergency action plan, carrying out risk assessment studies at specified regular intervals, preparing a comprehensive dam safety evaluation through a panel of experts. Right. So also, under this act, all specified dams are required to be inspected twice a year. Only those specified dams under the provisions of this act should be compulsorily or mandatorily inspected at least twice a year. That is during the pre-monsoon and the post-monsoon periods. Right. So next is about hate speech. Cases of hate speech have increased rapidly very recently in India. So, how is the hate speech defined? Is there any particular law, or does the Constitution of India anywhere define what hate speech is? Please note down. The Constitution of India has nowhere defined what hate speech constitutes. However, according to 267th report of the Law Commission of India, hate speech is an incitement to hatred directed principally towards a group of people who are identified by their race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, or other characteristics. It is any word. Hate speeches may be any word, whether written or spoken, sign or visual representation that is presented to a person in a way that is intended to frighten or alarm them, to encourage them to violence. So that is called as hate speech. Indirect references have been made to hate speech under the Indian Penal Code under section 153A, section 295A and section 505. Also, the Code of Criminal Procedure talks about the punishment with respect to, or the punishment or the arrest with respect to hate speech. It provides for the arrest of individuals who have committed a cognizable offense such as hate speech. The Information Technology Act also specifically talks about hate speech in the form of regulating online speech. Right. Various court judgments with respect to hate speech include Shreya Singhal versus Union of India, the year is 2015, and Sukumar versus State of Tamil Nadu, the year is 2019, and the Representation of People's Act of 1951 has indirect references to the hate speech. That is Section 8 and Section 123, Clause 3A, and Section 125 of the Representation of People's Act. Next is about preventive detention. Recently, NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau, has revealed that as per its most recent crime data, over 1.1 lakh people will be held in preventive custody in 2021. This is a 23% increase from 2020. Just imagine, across the country, nearly 1.1 lakh, that is 1,10,000 people are under the preventive detention. This is a 23% rise compared to the year 2020. Right. So, where is the provision related to preventive detention mentioned? It's under Article 22 of the Indian Constitution. Here, detention comes in two forms. One is when a person is held in police custody solely on the grounds of a suspicion that they would commit a crime or harm society. This is known as preventive detention. Right. Under this, police have the right to detain anyone they suspect of committing a crime, as well as, under some circumstances, to conduct arrests without a warrant or a magistrate's consent. This can be mostly seen during the times of election. Here in Karnataka too, we have seen many such incidents in the recent past 1 month. Right. Next is about UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So this particular act makes it clear that anyone who is or continues to be even a mere member of a prohibited organization may be deemed criminally responsible for working against the sovereignty and integrity of India, and this is termed as guilty by association. Imagine there is an organization called as XYZ and it has been banned by the government of India or any other state government. Even if knowingly or unknowingly, any person who was, during the time of declaration or during the time of banning was not associated with this particular organization, but eventually becomes a part or obtains the membership of this particular organization. And in such cases, the case under UAPA can be initiated against those individuals too. That is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. This is because of guilty by association. Alright, this was the decision given by the Supreme Court of India. So with this decision, the Supreme Court has overturned a string of its own rulings that had been determined that mere membership in an illegal organization or association did not automatically qualify a person as a criminal or terrorist. Right? Here are the basic facts related to UAPA, that is, it was passed in the year 1967 and it provides special procedures to deal with what kind of activities? Terrorist activities, not solely terrorist activities. Among other various things, terrorist activities stands significant. Right? Unlawful activity means any conduct which constitutes a crime or which contravenes any law, whether such conduct occurred before or after the commencement of this act, and whether such conduct occurred in the Republic or elsewhere. Section 15 of the UAPA specifically defines what a terrorist act constitutes, and it also says that such acts are punishable under the law. It might include 5 years of imprisonment or death. And above all, the important point is that this particular act assigns absolute power to whom? To the central government, by way of which, if the center deems an activity as unlawful, then it may, by the way of an official gazette, declare it to be an unlawful activity. Alright, so the absolute power is held by the central government. Alright, so thank you so much for joining this class. The PDF shall be attached in the description link below. Please find the PDF attached. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye.